Good evening, everyone. It's 10 to 10, another relaxing game of football. I'm absolutely done. Yabba will be hosting the show tonight. I'm done.
It's actually 10 to 11. That's how late it is. The late night show. What a finish. This is what Man United Football Club is all about. I remember, extra time in 1968. I remember extra time in the
You remember extra time in 1968, yeah?
Well, I remember the game because I studied history, all right? And I remember in the new camp, extra time as in minutes added on when we needed goals, and that made us famous. And how many late goals? Remember Mark Hughes against Oldham in the FA Cup semi-final late on. I remember when we played Crystal Palace in the final in the FA Cup late on. We are a team of heritage. Just what makes us a great team. And the moments I would have loved to experience it with you guys. What an emotion. What an emotional ride, roller coaster we've just been on. And we're here to talk about it on the Man United agenda. Welcome, Mr. B. Have you got your voice, Mr. B?
No, I'm broken. Bro, I remember jumping up for the final goal. I don't know who scored it. I don't know who crossed it.
Hold on.
I'll be honest. There's a lot of games that I've watched.
Mr. B, we got someone direct from Old Trafford.
Come on! Come on! Yeah! Fucking come on!
Come on! Stuart Marshall!
Let's go, Martin! No. Hey, the fuck am I United? Hey, the fuck am I United? Hey, the fuck am I United? I said, let's go, Martin! On! Come on!
Come on, Stuart Marshall!
Come on! Come on, the agenda! Woohoo! Fucking hell! Oh.
Yes!
Fucking come on!
It's good to be a Red.
Come on, get me!
Come
Come on!
Stuart Marshall, quick interview. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Stuart?
David.
He can't hear us.
He can't hear us.
Hey! Go on, boys! Come on!
He can't hear a word we're saying. That's the emotion right there, guys.
Hey, the fuck am I United? That's the rest go, Martin! On! Come on!
Yes.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart Marshall. Wow. See that right there?
He's still going.
Amazing. That's the emotion of football. That's what football can bring to you, guys. Big up to Mr. Potus. Big up to Andrew Williams. Big up to Bath Time. Mr. B, sorry, I had to cut you there because Stuart Marshall's coming in live feed. This is live TV. This is what happens. So just, yeah.
I'm broken. Bro, I'm broken.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'll be going to be honest. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
I do not remember Maguire's goal. I just remember running up and down and jumping. I'm in somebody's house. And I remember jumping up and down. And it's like the whole, it's not even a reaction trophy. I don't remember any of the game. I am totally dead. When it went to 2-2, I think my mind drifted to somewhere where maybe it shouldn't have been. And I don't know. I don't know how much drink I've drunk. I'm done.
Quick question. Did you think it was over?
Yes, I did. I did. And I think that mood took over everything else. I'm going to have to watch the game again. I'm going to be honest. I'm sitting here 15 minutes after the game and I don't remember any of the game. I remember none of the game.
Well, we will go through what we can remember during the show today. Amazing spectacle, amazing football match. This is what nights in Europe and Man United is all about. Bath time. Did you think it was over?
I did, yeah. But then, Dora sent me messages saying that she'd turned the TV off, and I thought it's not over. And I think in the group chat you'll see a lot of my nonsense during extra time. But the second the penalty was awarded, I believed wholeheartedly. But a bit like Mr. B, I'm not going to be of any real use talking about extra time or anything that happened after it got to 2-2. I am completely broken, and I've been through it tonight, as we all have.
What an amazing, amazing experience. I mean, Stuart was there. Every one of you that watched in today, you will never forget this day for the rest of your lives. It was an amazing game, even though it's just the quarter final or whatever. It just means so much. Save our season. We sent out the SOS. Save our season, and people stepped up. Where do we start with this one? I just don't know. I just want to say hi to all the guys in the comments. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. You could be right, drinking champagne right now, and getting down with the missus or whatever. But you decided to join us. What a celebration it is tonight. Big up to Andrew Williams. Big up to Graham as well. Big up to Potus. Big up to Big G. Yes, we are laughing. I hope you guys saw Stuart Marshall earlier. Big up to Johnny Hill as well. Kieran in the house. Simon Warner, how you feeling? Yes, yes. Guys in the comments, did you think it was over? Be honest. Be honest. Big up to Sub Vids as well. Woohoo! He's saying here. Did you think that was over? As Man United fans, with the history we have, did you actually say that's enough? We're done. Yes, I wasn't so sure. When it went to 4-2, I thought, wow, 10 men, this is embarrassing. And let's just talk about it quickly. Bath time, Mr. B. 2-0 up, cruising. Goals, control. Is it the manager? Or is it the players? How can we go down, get 10 men, and then go and be 4-2 down? Can we explain this, please? Because I'm straining for some explaining.
I mean, I think you've got to look at the substitution of Eriksen, surely. Like, he was brought on to give us more control because you're not going to concede 2 goals at home to Lyon. But I mean, it's they brought on this player, the really young boy, who was absolutely amazing. Like, he is a top player already, in my opinion. Do you not agree?
Just looks like a young Shawshire. Just had a bit of pace, and
I thought he looked great. But
he looked all right, yeah. But
I think it was, to be honest, a little bit of Euros inexperience, kind of like with the crosses coming in and the little flicks and stuff. I don't really. It's very difficult to say how they got back into it, but the idea was we were going to sit on the break, I think, and find Garnacho. And Garnacho, he fluffed his chance, but what I will say is he did better than normal with that chance, like cutting inside and things. But as I say, Yabba, I'm a bit useless at this because I just experienced that game. Do you know what I mean? I can't comment on it properly.
Can I just say a big shout out to Andrew Williams? He's saying here, Garnacho was our best player. We talked about Garnacho yesterday on the preview. And Mr. B, you were sort of giving up on him, saying he should be playing from the right. Today he was playing from the left, and he had a lot of chances. And he could have, when we were 2-0 up, he had a great opportunity, didn't he, to sort of show his pace, showed his cutting inside, but didn't show the finishing.
That's the part. That's the most important part. Yeah, but he's got the cutting in. It's the finishing. That's the part that we play the most. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what we've just spoken about. I think I'm actually drunk. I actually think I'm very, very drunk. So rather than I sit here and just watch you, I'm actually going to come off because I have no idea what happened in the game. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember any of the goals. I remember the penalty is the only goal that I remember. So me sitting here waffling on about nothingness makes no sense. I said that was going to be 5 minutes to bath time. You've had 9 minutes of me. I'm sorry to I'm drunk, and I'm not going to stay on here drunk. It's a celebrationary drunk. It's a happy drunk. So Yabba, I apologize. I will be leaving. Bath time.
You're not going anywhere, Mr. B. We need moments like this. It's
do you want me to stay on drunk?
You do what you want. Drunk? Yeah, stay around, man.
Okay.
Historic. And you want to leave and go to bed. Come on.
I won't be, bro. My night's not finished. I have no work tomorrow. It's going to be a very, 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 very late one for me.
It's a good Friday, isn't it? It's going to be a very good Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll stay.
Right,
let's
talk about. Let's see if we can revise your memory, Barth. Let's talk about the first goal. We started this game. First of all, we did the show yesterday, and we did get the show right because we said in midfield, Ugarte won't play with Casemiro. But guess what? Today, Ugarte.
That's not true, Yabba. We said that we put out the team we thought would pick. It was the exact team.
Okay. Did we end up with Ugarte and Casemiro?
We picked the exact team. This is what we thought.
7,
His
8
preferred.
selections.
Yeah, but we said this is what the team would be, and then Stuart started banging on about how he didn't want to see Ugarte and Casemiro. But we got the team right. Don't worry.
All right, let's just talk about the team starting lineup. We start with Ugarte, and a lot of people suggested maybe we should be playing Bruno in that position with Casemiro, and no one was sure. But obviously the manager knows what he's doing. He started with Ugarte, and what a choice that was, because Ugarte ended up scoring a lovely goal. Can we talk us through the goal? Does anyone remember?
I do. It's coming back to me. It was Mazraoui hit a long ball out to Bruno on the right-hand side. Bruno flicked it around the corner, and Garnacho took it beautifully. Like, absolutely beautifully.
Yeah.
Hojlund ran near post. It's our standard goal now. A Hojlund run to clear the centre.
Very good by Hojlund, by the way. That was nice.
Yeah, he had a great game by his standards. And then Ugarte, another left foot finish, edge of the box. Ugartinho. I wondered if he was going to put his foot on the ball, look left and right for 10 seconds, and then pass it backwards. But he actually just buried it, and I was delighted. I can't hear you. Yeah, but what's going on? All right, I think that the dogs are barking. It was fantastic. It was the perfect finish. I was delighted for Ugarte, as he became a bit of a scapegoat for the Newcastle win and for the Newcastle loss. And during that game, we did point out that Ugarte didn't go hiding against Newcastle. So I think he got his reward. And like Amrin, like Ugarte, like Dorgu, like all the new players that have come in, they've kind of experienced what Old Trafford can be, what Manchester United can be. And I hope that they are addicts now, that they're completely thirsting for the glory that playing at the Theatre of Dreams gives you. And let's be honest, this is the Europa League, and we've just made it the most glamorous competition in the world tonight with that win. It's been the best football match that there has been in Europe in Champions League, whatever. It's been incredible. But it was a great goal. Now the second goal, I'm trying to remember who scored it. Could someone in the chat remind me who scored the second?
It was two unexpected goal scorers, wasn't it? We always expect Bruno to score, but it was Ugarte who ended up scoring the first goal, and the second goal came from Dalot.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Okay. I remember it now.
The ball got. Let me try and talk this one through, because I just walked in the door. It was late in the first half. We were 1-0 up. I was listening on the radio. Got indoors, and I saw towards the end a ball was played into Dalot and made a run into the box. He got in front of the defender, so the defender had to foul him, if anything. And then suddenly he's in on goal. Maybe played a bit of a. I thought he played an extra touch, but didn't need to. But he slotted it in the corner of the net, and you got to give it up for Dalot. This is a guy who's been getting pelters from certain people on our show, and people called him Daisy yesterday. Are we still calling him Daisy, Dalot? Mr. B, over to you.
Do you know what was so good about the Dalot thing, Yabba? And it's something I made a note of to ask you. Is that Mazraoui bangs the ball, Dalot looks at it once, and then spends the rest of his time basically wrestling with the defender, getting ahead of him, pushing him to the side and stuff. I was really impressed by that. That's what I kind of want from Hojlund and my centre forward. You just clock the ball once and then go for it. And I was kind of wondering as a defender how you deal with that kind of stuff, or if that is, what you feared in a striker or a forward.
Most certainly. Look, Dalot got himself in a good position there. And look, no matter what people say about him, he stepped up tonight. And, even though that was a long time ago in this epic game, we are remembering it and we are giving him props for that. I hope everyone on the agenda is giving him props for that goal, because it was superb. I mean, it got us that lead going into halftime, 2-0 up, and it's all about controlling the game from now on. But early in the second half, I think Garnacho's chance, that was something where I felt that, we might live to regret that. And we certainly did. But Garnacho showed his pace. He got sent through. I think it was from they had a set piece. We hit them on the counter because we were so deep. And you mentioned the other day, Bartha, about us being good at playing a low block, but it's just getting out. And we needed those legs, Garnacho. And he really stretched the centre back who couldn't catch him. And this is Garnacho with the ball, got into the box, chopped him, sent the centre back slide in. And it's just him and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, Yabba, because that game fell into like 3 sections. Do you know what I mean? There was the 60 minutes, and then there was like 20, 25 minutes, and then there was the end. And for the 60, 65 minutes, every player was really, really good. Like they were making it difficult for Lyon. They were competing for stuff. We were playing nice stuff. And at the heart of it all was an otherworldly performance from Bruno Fernandes and from Garnacho. Every time there was a bit where he got the ball, and I'm probably over-egging the pudding here, but the way he effortlessly beat the man was reminiscent of Ryan Giggs in those positions, of just a drop of the shoulder, going the other way, making it look so easy. And it's so strange because something happened on the 65th minute, and brighter minds than me are going to have to explain that to you because I don't know what happened. So I hope that's useful.
Well, look, it's so hard to recall. I mean, it was such a great game. Do you want to say big up to Dora? She's one of the Man United agenda. She's actually, I'm surprised she's not here, but it's late. It's there, Croatia. They are far ahead, aren't they? An hour ahead. But she's saying, I lied. I watched the whole game. She's saying, big up to Maguire. He's the best striker in the game, in our club. Sorry, not in the game of football. And Kobe, Ronaldinho, Mainoo. Yeah, we'll talk about that later because I thought that was a special moment in a game full of crazy stuff going on. But we're looking at the goals. They got back to 2-2, didn't they? And I think there was balls played across the box. It was the guy got sent off, Tolisso. Yeah, got scored with his header. Can't blame the keeper. Surely not. You can't blame the keeper for that. Maybe Yoro, you let him go in front of him. Maybe Dorgu didn't win his header. It's the first and second ball. They were hungry, and it gave them inspiration. It's funny with momentum, isn't it, in the game? You can be 2-0 down, and you get a goal back, and then suddenly you're saying it's on. So they got back to 2-2. Their second goal was from Ryan Xerxes, the guy that we were always talking about. He's talented. He shot it into the corner. And maybe that was the third goal. I'm getting confused now. But they got to 2-2, and then they got a man sent off. It was 2 yellow cards. I think we're looking back at that. I think it's a bit unfortunate. I've said a lot of people on Twitter saying, they were robbed. But I mean, the referee, as they said on the TV, you can't overturn a yellow card. And the referee saw that as a yellow card when he didn't really intentionally clip him. Am I correct in saying that?
I think so. What I am interested in is some of like Yoro's defending because like he was flicking at the ball with the outside of his foot quite a lot. Like so when the ball comes in, he's using his weaker foot to flick it as opposed to sort of turning his body and smashing it. I wanted to ask you, like, is this okay for the defenders? Like it's the first priority is getting first contact on the ball. But basically, I'm quite confused by Yoro's like performance this evening because I know he missed the first half, but he was carrying the ball up the pitch like an out of control donkey. It was incredible. Like he's not the smoother on the ball, but he was genuinely progressing us like 30, 40, 50 yards in the first half. But there seems to be some sort of like issues in his defending of crosses. And I was just wondering if I was being harsh on him or, because I'm not a defender and you are.
Look, I'll just say this with Yoro. I mean, he's got all the attributes to be a good defender. He's not the finished article as yet. I don't think any defender his age is going to be complete because you need to be battle-worn and have experiences like this tonight and learn how to deal with different players and different situations. And I think by coming to United, he's going to encounter things he wouldn't encounter if he stayed in France. It's rough and ready. He's playing in a back three for starters. He's having to defend out wide. He's having to learn from the best. You can't accuse him now because he's got people like Harry Maguire around him, Johnny Evans, who will teach him the basics that you're saying about defending and just clearing the ball. I do think he's a bit. Sometimes he doesn't tackle with the right foot. He just relies on his athleticism maybe to get there, but he seems to tackle with the wrong foot a lot of the time. And you're saying I'm still don't get what you're saying about the outside of the foot. Is this to do with tackling? Are you saying, or
so it's clearing the ball when the ball's coming? When the ball's coming in, he was flicking his like right foot out at it and things. So with the second goal, it's their shot that Onana gracefully drops into an on-rushing player. Is from like what I think is a poor clearance from Yoro, because he waves a foot out at it, and I just like it's something that when I was watching it, because I used to criticize Martinez for this as well. He used to do the same thing of like dangling a foot out, like dangling his left foot out instead of using his right. And I just wanted to know if like why they're doing this, because they're obviously extremely good players, but it seems such a glaring technical issue.
That's something I think we can discuss at the moment. I mean, details like that. I just want to deal with the whole thing rather than little minor details like that. We can do that on the aftermath show. But first of all, I want to give a big shout out to our boy Kany. He's in the house. He's representing for Man United. Is this the reason you're a Man United fan? Because of moments like this, Kany. How are you feeling? And did you? And the first thing I want to ask you, Kany, did you actually think it was over?
This is why you want to turn up before the show starts, so we can do a sound check. But Kany, it's a night to leave it late. Oh my God.
Mr. B's out in the cold. It looks like he's outside with the moon shining over him.
Well, we can't hear Mr. B, but he's got a halo.
This is a crazy show. But the Stuart Marshall thing was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, his face is just full of. Did you see the kid crying in the crowd? I thought they might zoom into someone like Stuart or someone we knew crying tears in the crowd as well. That was mad.
I know.
Memorable all round for everybody. All right, we went 4-2 down. And at this stage, you're thinking, wow, 10 men, 4-2 down. And you're thinking the season's over. There's no way we can come back from this. Let me just mute.
I've done it.
Okay. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way we can come back from 4-2 down. There wasn't much time left. I think it was like, I remember at 20 minutes to go, before they scored in the 70th minute, with 20 minutes to go to make it 2-1. And then suddenly it's 4-2. And then we got back to 4-4 to go to extra time, which is just absolutely unbelievable. And then, to be honest, I mean, Maguire going up front and we're pumping the ball up. That's just seemed to be really effective. I remember back in the day when English clubs used to dominate Europe, they used to use things that were effective for them, like long balls and, winning first and second balls in the box.
How you break a block, isn't it?
Like, there you go. Mr. B.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm wrecked. Right, listen, look, I'm no good to the show. I'm going to watch the show in the chat because I'm sorry, I'm fucked. I really am. I'm no use to you guys. Apologies. I know we tried to set up a professional standard, but I'm a wreck. So I'm going to talk to you in the chat because I'm done. They've killed me. They have actually killed me tonight. So apologies. I'm going to listen in the chat and I'll comment in the chat. Yeah. Apologies. Cammy, big up, man. Yabba, I apologize. Bath time. I'll have to talk to you tomorrow. I'm done. Chat. Thank you very much.
Enjoy your night, Mr.
Glory, Man United. Yeah.
Indeed. We've had Stuart, we've had Mr. B completely shit-faced.
No, that's end the stream.
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not going to press that one. I don't know what to press to leave. Oh shit, leave. There's no leave. Cancel maybe. Maybe if fuck.
All right, Mr. B's out of here. Kany might be on his way back. All right, yeah. Bath time. I mean, what is it that makes it so special, this club? And you said you'd given up at 4-2, didn't you?
Yeah. Because I don't believe in a lot of the players, to be honest. We've seen them capitulate time and time again, really, haven't we? But I mean, huge shout outs to Maguire and Kobe. They're really made from the proper stuff. And just, I know like Kobe gets a lot of grief from a lot of people because he can't run very fast and all. And, you know, what a player. Just what a player. And Harry Maguire, everything he's been through, all the shit he gets. And yet he did this against Leicester as well. He's just there. And he does it, and I just love the football club so much. But yeah, I can't lie, Yabba at 4-2. You should have seen the thumbnail that we had put up.
I want to see it. Don't delete that. I want to see that. That'd be funny. You've been making some really funny AI thumbnails lately. I don't know if Kany's available, but if you are, just give us a shout. But yeah, man, that penalty. Obviously, Lacazette scored a penalty as part of it. It was Luke Shaw, who shouldn't really be diving in like that with someone's quick feet. They're looking for these sort of things. But you can't, I mean, Luke Shaw's been out for so long. He did look composed out there. And I'm kind of glad he's come back because we need him. But that was really unfortunate. The guy, like you said, Fofana's come on. They're building him up on the commentary, TV. He was quick. He was fast. He had a bit of something about him. And I think he put the frighteners on players because suddenly it's like, we don't know about this guy. It's like players have to have data or read the book on someone to actually know what they're about. But I got the impression halftime that they didn't know anything about him and they were a bit like apprehensive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, literally I think he got like smacked up by Delo after 30 seconds of coming on, and his move, like he did a little touch and stuff, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, like he had quality. You could tell straight away. And I think players were, you're right, I think they're a little bit sort of scared of like getting close to him because he did 2 or 3 with just some like hip swivels and things. But him and Shirky like took the game over, and especially Lacazette. He was causing a lot of issues for us. But I wanted to ask you about Hojlund, actually. I know you didn't see the first half, but I thought he did quite well tonight. You know, that was the best game I've seen him play for a long time.
That's good to hear. I mean, obviously with the goal running off the ball for the first goal, which is good. You want to see that. I was hearing on the radio who's making. They were saying the same as you. This is probably the best they've seen him play. And when he did come off the pitch, I think we lost a little bit of something because you can't expect Kobe to do all that running and shuttle running. I saw Kobe doing it, but it's like he's running 3/4 pace.
Yeah, he struggled, didn't he?
Down, because he doesn't really need to do those runs as much as he tried. But fair play to Hojlund. I do think there's a player in there, and I just think there's a decision to be made, isn't there? Do we keep him and try to develop him into a powerhouse forward like he looked like he might?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Kany.
Oh my God! Thank you very much.
Welcome back, Kany.
Thank you. I don't even know the quality. I had to go and steal a makeshift microphone real quick. I've been working hard to make this work. I'm so sorry. This game has taken a whole lot out of people.
Kany, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Absolutely. Let me give my salutations, base. How are you doing, Mr. B? Mr. B's God. How are you doing? Yabba. Bathtime.
Yeah, just really sometimes like this, you're proud to be a Man United fan. This is what it's all about, isn't it? The ups and downs, the roller coaster rides. They take it. They really push your buttons and really sort of get your heart racing. And that was special tonight. Very special. I'm glad you're here to join us with bath time.
I suspect I feel like a teenage girl who's just lost her virginity. Like, I'm not quite sure how to feel.
Kany, we've sort of half an hour into the show now, but I just want you to summarize that. Did you really think it was over? Knowing you're a Man United fan, you've seen it all before. We come back from deficits and last-minute goals and Fergie time. But was there a point in the game, whether it's when we went 2-2 or 4-2, that you thought we're done and you want to walk out the room?
Yeah, I was beat when we got the penalty, and for my Arsenal player to convert that penalty, like I said, my head was in my palms, and my girlfriend was really the one that was like, she felt so sad for me. You can see in her eyes, she was like, I was gone. I thought this is it. I thought this is it, to be honest. During that penalty, I couldn't see any how we were failing to overcome a team that has one man down. I just couldn't see it. And the thing that I really said to her was that there is something that's really fundamentally wrong with this club. This is no longer a football issue. If that was going to be the fate of the game today, I was going to tear up a lot of things in the house. I had lost it, but I think we did that to ourselves. When you look at it, I feel as though when we were 2 up, I kind of blame Amorim a little bit on this, because I feel when you're 2 up, took too long to make some changes, to adapt the game. Even though we were leading, it's important for us to maintain our lead and also to try and score more goals, but you can't keep the same team over and over. So they made some tactical changes that led to, even because they were forced to do that after the red card, and we didn't. So that surprised us when they made those tactical changes. And you know how it is when you're a man down, everybody gives 110%. Soon your level goes a little bit up, and that shocked the whole United team for how I saw the game played out.
Okay, so we've obviously you didn't despair, not quite. I mean, you had your head in your hands, I'm sure, but yeah, we got back to 4-4, and then we go to extra time. And you know what? I'd have to even check what the final score was, because I was thinking at some point I was thinking let's just take them to penalties, because this is ridiculous. If we can, so let me just say this. Let's talk in detail, because I don't want to go into too much detail. We're just going to summarize. We've got all week, the rest of the week, to talk about this amazing game. But I just want to talk. I was really impressed with the way Casemiro played a sort of dodgy pass to Kobe in the box. Kobe managed to bring it down in a tight area, drop his shoulder, and it's get that curve. That I think Bathtime gave a little speech or something before about where Kobe would be effective and how he can score his goals. But wow, in those sort of tight areas, you get a dodgy pass like that, caress it, and that's something I could watch over and over again. Let's talk about that goal, because to me, that goal and the last goal, we're gonna just touch on now before we.
I feel, Yabba, you being a little bit harsh on Casemiro. That was not a dodgy pass. I think you're being a little bit harsh. And listen, if there's one thing, Yabba, listen, if there's one thing that I think Bathtime will tell you. Me and Bathtime, the first time we had interactions, we had a fight we took over someone's show for like 30 minutes over Casemiro. He's my guy. Bathtime has Scotty, I have Cass. That's big Cass. That pass was straight out of the favelas, like street football, proper, where you expect the other person to have the same set of skills to do whatever. No matter where the ball comes, you are supposed to do that. And luckily for us, we had Kobe, who did exactly the way you just expressed it.
I'm more on Yabba's side here. There's a huge amount. There's a huge amount for Kobe Mainoo to do with that ball.
Exactly, that's my point.
Like if you say that if your argument is that Casemiro improvises because he knows that Kobe can handle the ball, fair enough. But you're talking unbelievable from Kobe Mainoo what he does there, because it looks so easy. It's reminiscent, to be honest, of Thierry Henry, the way that he took a difficult ball, killed it, but kills it in a way that means he can set it and bring it back in. And this strike he's done he's done it against Wolves, Liverpool. He did it against someone else as well. Kobe Mainoo has got to be considered as the left-sided number 10, because he can consistently produce
Absolutely.
this.
I totally agree with you.
what does he do there to get the space to get the shot off? Because he's in the penalty box, surrounded by defenders. How does he manage that? What is it? It's just something natural, something he can teach. He did do a step over. A lot of kids these days, they're taught things that I just think doesn't work. What has he done exactly? If you can remember, guys, to get that shot off, because he obviously, he's right-footed, so you want to send him to the left foot maybe. But like Bathtime was saying, to bring it down and then get the time and composure to get a yard. That's all it takes. I just think that's special. And he's a very gifted player, man. I really love that.
I think, but one of the things he does that's really important is he pushes his man. Like when the ball comes in, as like a centre half, you have your arm out a lot, like looking for where the distance is and stuff like that. Like because you've got to be watching the ball, you can't watch the player. So centre half, you've got your hand out touching them, so you know where they are. Kobe's doing something similar where his arm is like on that player is telling him how much space he's got to work with. So he's able to take it at a really sort of like, I don't know if this is the correct term, but an acute angle as it comes in, keep the ball protected. So he's got the defender on the blind side, and he's also controlled it so it's near enough to him so that he could set it out and bring it in before the other player can make a challenge. And it looks really, really simple, but so much of it is about understanding the distance between you and the player, and you do that by getting an arm out because it stops their inertia coming in, and it also allows you to get a bit balance off them. And that's why that's why it's really top draw stuff.
Yeah,
like you won't see that from a park player.
Because in those areas, just play a simple pass to the guy. Nice and easy. Roll it to his feet. Not have to do all that. Yeah. That's what makes it.
I totally disagree because we've tried the simple passes the whole 90 minutes. Those were times of desperation. Yabba, you can't do this. Like, bathtime, what are you guys doing? Like, you cannot take away from Casemiro's 2 assists. That came from nowhere and try to make them sound as if you're sending hospital passes.
I'm saying that it's a pass that leaves the player with a lot to do. It's one of my favorite passes in football. I've talked about it on this channel a lot, which is that when the ball comes in, use the outside of your foot with a little sort of stab or a chip, because players can't react to it as fast as they can. It's something that I learned of players in Serie A. Like, you're instead of playing it with your back foot, you play it with your front foot, and it takes everyone by surprise. But it's a good pass. It's a great pass, but it's a hard one to deal with. But the emphasis should not be on Casemiro playing that pass. The emphasis should be on Kobe Mainoo beating 3 men and curling it in with 1 touch. Absolutely. Like, the 1 touch beats 3 men. And that is I think you should spend far more focus on that than Casemiro playing what I call a flipper.
Okay, let's move on because we haven't got much time here. So it's gone to 4-4, and we had a penalty shot with Harry Maguire. And when we look at it, I don't know. Look, I don't know if you've studied too much about. To me, it's a foul. He's grabbed his shirt. Maguire didn't really. He wasn't going to. Who knows whether Maguire would have got there or not? But it was a scuffle in the box. Maguire was driving to try and get to the ball, and he was having his shirt pulled. In my opinion, Kany, what do you recall about that? Is that a pen for you? Would you have blown up?
At the first time I saw it, I screamed penalty. I'm sure, like every other Manchester United fan. But looking at the time it was happening and what led to the ref not giving it, I would also be in the ref's side for not giving it because Maguire didn't make it easy for the referee. If Maguire had actually tried to raise his arms while the tagging was ongoing, he could have given the referee an easier decision to make. But the reason that he was also tagging in the beginning and hold on to the shirt for a little bit, and if you notice, the referee was actually standing on the other side where he could see Maguire's arms as well being taggling the Lyon player. So that kind of like, it was like a 50-50. You pulling him, he's pulling you. So I can't really give this. But at the first time I saw it, I was like, no, pen, obviously. But after the angle came back from where the referee was standing, I totally understand that it wasn't a pen. And,
Can you just talk about the penalty we did get then? Do you think that was a penalty? And then throw it over to bath time as well to discuss these two penalty shouts and a penalty was given. The one on Casemiro when he got
that was a clear penalty because I think Casemiro was trying to trap the ball mid-air, and then he got a kick from under, which is like that's in the box. Outside the box, you could say it's light, but it's in the box, and you just have to give those ones. I mean, of course, Casemiro made a little bit of a, he made a Oscar award performance with it, but you can't blame the player for doing that, especially when the other player is in the wrong. That was definitely a pen because the kick from underneath before the goal, Casemiro already had the ball. He was first to the ball. So that clearly gave the ref a chance to block the penalty or the VAR to come in and give it.
Any objection to that bath time? 2 penalties?
Yeah, neither were penalties for me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm very happy for them. I mean, Kany, like Casemiro didn't just make a meal of it. He opened the bloody restaurant. The way he he went down there. I am of the opinion that football is a physical contact sport, and whilst it may not be in the rules and stuff, you are allowed to have a man shirt. It's part of the art of defending and things. And I think in situations like that, Casemiro, I mean, Kany, you said he's going to like trap the ball or something. There's absolutely no way that is going to happen. Like in that situation, I don't think that they're penalties, but I'm absolutely delighted that it was given as one. We're still living, boys. We're alive.
So you disagree? He wasn't faced to the ball. Casemiro.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you say about the contact and all these things. Yeah. I'm just saying that for me, I don't think that those contacts are worthy enough of a penalty.
I want to say big up to Simon Warner as well. He's saying clean sheet from Onana. That was as rare as spotted Nessie, Loch Ness. Will we keep one for our remaining matches? And we got Paul Tierney as well in the house. Taliso captain from 0 to 0 goal and sent off afterwards. A bit unfair, I think it was a bit unfortunate.
Do you believe in Nessie, Yabba?
Sorry?
Loch Ness monster, real or fake?
That's another show.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But all right, let's talk about we're thinking penalties. Kobe's run off. He scored a goal, but it was like, no, let's go for it. We got back to 4-4. We're thinking, calm down. But isn't it good game management to say, all right, we've got to our four goals now. Calm down. But it seemed like the crowd were coming back into the stadium. A lot of them had left. And they're right, Kany, you've seen that. And then it's like attack. It's gone crazy. Surely that's madness.
Yeah, I think for some, for some strange reason, I think they didn't realize that the other team was 1 man down. I think they forgot that because the way we played with a team that's a man down was shocking. They were playing. They could have scored two more goals until the first half of the extra time change. Now we go in, and then they start coming in now like attack. They realize that these people are 1 man down. If we just calm down and credit to Bruno and Casemiro in midfield as well. Casemiro.
I was very impressed by Lacazette leading Lyon, to be honest. Like at the start of extra time, he got all his players in a huddle and they listened to him as like the leader, whereas United were just like, I felt that we were very, very chaotic. We understood what we were trying to do, which is to get Maguire at the back post on a header. Like, there's no getting around it. But I felt that Yabba's quite right, is that the team were completely out of control in the last 5 minutes, because And I don't know how you stay in control in that kind of atmosphere, that kind of rush. Like I wouldn't be able to handle the adrenaline, I think, there, and sort of focus and play a sensible game. I'm with them. I'm just legging it about, kicking the ball like a child.
But it was effective. Clearly, it was effective. Like you said,
Yeah.
looking to ping diagonals into Maguire and get second balls off that. That was our way for glory, because of the whole game you're going through, playing these tactical patterns of playing, all the kind of thing. And Lyon was just getting back the numbers behind the ball and making it difficult for us to break them down. It wasn't really a game of transitions like that. So big up to Tyrone, by the way. But that goal, look, what a moment. I mean, this is the highlight. It just got better and better and better. We had our highs, we had our lows, and then Maguire, a player, we talk about retribution. We're going to talk about a few other players as well who, we might hate a lot of the time, but a lot of them stepped up tonight. But Maguire, with that late goal, it meant so much. I mean, it's just massive. And you couldn't write that script, no matter how, I know Tyrone's an actor and he likes to write movie scripts, but he couldn't even make a movie as epic as that. Harry Maguire coming back to finish it off with a lovely header guided into the corner. Talk to me, Kany.
Oh, okay. For a player, I was one of the people that was strong Maguire out for a very long time when he was having a very, very bad season, if you remember. But I have so much respect for Maguire that, like, he's a player I want in the dressing room because of how he handled the whole backlash the way he did, with pure maturity, and he had this Greece story, whatever, but like him coming back. Bathtime. Yeah. He had a little episode in Greece, so we will leave that alone. But I just like appreciate a person that can come out of media scrutiny, negative media scrutiny, and come out, like chin up and just concentrate on football and not whine when you're being benched, and just concentrate on saying, okay, these are my mistakes. People are complaining about this. And you can see this growth in Maguire that I wish certain players had that are playing for Aston Villa, like, not to mention names other than Chelsea. But like, that's the type of character that I hoped, and maturity that I hoped certain players had. I think Maguire must have like a very grounded, like, back room that like highlights these things and just channels him and say, like, concentrate on this and just go, because he's a person that, for me, you could tell is a silent leader. But maybe at the time when he got the captaincy, it was too early for him, and then the pressure at United is something that he didn't expect. But I was happy for Maguire, and to see the slide without the ear, that was the moment I needed him to do the ear. So I'm really, really happy for Harry Maguire, and I don't mind Harry Maguire staying at United, getting a new contract. Because there's a player that doesn't complain. He can come off the bench, and he was one of our better players the whole game today, to be honest. I'll give an honorable mention to Lyon Europe, but I'm sure Yabba, you're gonna direct the show through that.
I mean, definitely. So big up Maguire. That was a great finish, by the way. It could have gone anywhere. What do you think of that bath time? I mean, as a striker, you need to have finish with your feet, with your chest, with all kinds of your body part, with your kneecap, your toe. But heading is something we don't really have at the moment in our club. But that was a great example of what a guy in the box, a 6-yard box, can do if he can head the ball.
Well, I think that there are two important parts of this. The first is that it's Casemiro playing the ball in, and a lot of the time we're all quite confused about how we feel about Casemiro. But what you can't take away from him is the quality and the range of passing that he has, and it's why you need these kind of players in your midfield to be able to, like, find these players, like, find a solution of how to get the ball. The other one is that a lot of people don't like Maguire as a defender and stuff, but what he did there is no different to what he does, like, when he's defending, where he's able to take the momentum off a man, like, give himself an advantage, and then direct a header this time into the net instead of away from danger. And it's like this is, everyone sort of says, oh, what kind of player you need to beat a low block. That's how you beat a low block. You have like you have a physical advantage, you have quality into the box, and you're able to separate yourself from the man and apply the finish, as it were. And I'm fairly sure that like this is something that has been worked on in training for a bit. Maguire's movements are a little bit too rehearsed for this to just be throw Maguire on for 10 minutes. Like they knew what they were doing, and I'm delighted for Harry, and I'm also delighted for Casemiro because he's worked his way back into the team and he hasn't been a problem. Like he hasn't caused like any issues. I think that like I don't know what I think, Yabba. I'm still a bit all over the shop about this, but what a moment. And I'm so pleased that it is one of our own in Kobe, and also it's Maguire, and that I love them so much at the moment. I don't know. That's what you get out of me.
Can I add something there? Like to add to, Casemiro, like the thing with like what you say, Casemiro is one of them as well. Like he fell out of favor from the manager, quite all right. But like you see the love for the game in Casemiro. You see the respect for the culture of football. Of like, if you guys have played football, you know exactly when you're benched, you get upset. You can be petulant. You can have tantrums, whatever. But Casemiro is one player that has been on the bench with his 5 Champions Leagues, his number of silverware, will still be happy, will still be like running to the corner flags, hugging people, like a proper profession. And that we just need to love it and use it while we still have him. And even though we say, okay, going forward, we should look beyond Casemiro, but we have him now. So the best we could do is utilize what he has now to get us to where we're trying to go, which is get Champions League football so we can get more money and better players and probably replace him. He's on a big salary, but like, what are we doing? The icing out of players is, for me, is what I really not support. And I want us to get away from that as a fan base.
You got to give credit to Amran though as well. I think where there was a game where we got a man sent off. Was it Leicester? Was it Dorgu against Leicester? And
yes.
Yeah, like, and basically we had to play like in a low block and transition, which is something that we've been, normally playing in a medium block or a mid block as it's called. And in that game, Amran afterwards said that he was really impressed with the quality of Casemiro, De Ligt, Maguire defending these situations. And after that, he adjusted the team a little bit, and we got 4 or 5 decent results in a row by just playing a little bit deeper. And I think that in the same way that I forgive Yoro, Garnacho, Kobe for making errors that an experienced player wouldn't, because you just can't expect them not to. Amran he's only just 40, isn't he? 40 years old and managing Manchester United. He's not gonna be anywhere near the manager he's going to be in 15 years. We normally expect 55-year-olds to be managing our club. So I think that Amran should get a bit of credit for not doing what Ten Hag did and getting incredibly stubborn about certain selections. And I hope tonight he'd realised that when Garnacho came off, even though Garnacho, he missed a chance, he should have passed it to Rasmus Hjolands or maybe popped it back to Bruno or whatever. Garnacho is what kept our threat and stopped them squeezing us. And when they squeezed us, Churchy and Fofana, so when they pushed a bit further up the pitch because there wasn't that outlet, Churchy and Fofana were able to do more against us because they're not like long-range players, as it were. They're not a Brian Mbeumo or a Salah who can affect you from 40 or 50 yards. They'll do you over 20. And I hope that Amran kind of realizes that in the Premier League, you always need the threat. You need a physical threat. all teams are going to squeeze you. So that's what I'd like to add.
All right, guys, we're coming up to an hour. Big up to everyone in the comments. And we see the comments coming through. We're flinging them up as well. I'm going to name a name and just quick comments on these guys because legends are made tonight. And Pete, like we said, with Maguire, retribution, to come back and become a legend, score goals like that. First guy I'm just going to mention quickly is Maz. Unfortunately, he had to come off at half time. Do you think there's anything wrong with any issues with that? Let's be punchy, guys. Going to wrap this up.
Almost certainly a planned substitution, I would think. Like
no injury.
I think he's probably carrying an injury, and they knew that Shaw could only do a certain amount of time. So Maz, get through the first half, and also because it looked like the game was pretty much done. Then there wasn't too much threat in bringing Shaw on and giving him some minutes, maybe a little bit of inexperience from Amarin again.
I was going to hit you with the next player, which is Luke Shaw, Cammy. Just quick summary on him, make it punchy. Let's go. Luke Shaw.
I feel as though, like, replacing a person that has been as solid as Mazraoui since we signed him, I would say Mazraoui has been giving us almost like steady sevens, you know, for quite a long time. He had a few here and there games. So for Luke Shaw, after being so absent for a very long time, you could see his rustiness. You could see he was a little bit off. You know, I'll bring my girlfriend back in the picture. When he was coming on, she was like, he doesn't look in shape. Is he a player? Like, yeah, you know, like, honestly. So I would say Luke Shaw is a very technical player. Just to quickly do it, like, I think he's one of the most technical players we have, and I respect that. But you could see his rustiness, and I feel as though this game he should have come on maybe the last 5 minutes after we've already, like, ready to, like, just close out the game. And I feel as though Amarin's sab of Mazraoui was a little bit immature. So I agree with that.
Times Dorgu, Kany, and move on to
Dorgu.
We've had time to set him, but what's going on with Dorgu? What do you think about him? Just give us a quick summary.
I feel as though Dorgu, right now, Dorgu had a better game based on the fact that he had a better understanding with Garnacho. I feel like when Garnacho is playing on the left 10, that Dorgu is overlapping. Garnacho has a tendency of being a little bit selfish and not playing Dorgu in, not like really bringing him into the game. Dorgu would make some runs and Garnacho would not. But today I saw a little bit of interchange of play together. I think today is one of the better games Dorgu has had since he came. Yeah.
Half-time might counter that. Do you agree?
No, not for me. He was very, very dodgy on the goals. Like he gave away a free kick, was poorly positioned, should be inside more. I think that his ball striking is absolutely dreadful. We saw again shanking shots, shanking crosses. I think what we have to do with Dorgu is assess him next season. He's just come into a new league. He is playing a different kind of formation, and from what I understand, the different position to what he played in Lecce. Like he was kind of signed on his attacking from the right wing. I thought he was once again like one of the weaker performers over the course of the game. And as I said, I don't want to get on a new player's back. We all give them 18 months. He's got to get up with the pace of the league and so on. And I know that this wasn't a league match, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. See what solutions Amarin can come up to get more consistency, concentration, and quality off him.
We just named two left-foot players, Dorgu and Luke Shaw. I'm going to name a third now. The youngster Amas. In the last couple of weeks, he's had a lot more minutes than he's had since the start of the season. I expect him to play a lot more. What do you think about him? Has he got a future at the club, Cammy?
I want to see him more, actually. I'd love to see Amas get a few more minutes. Put Dorgu, because we use Dorgu in the more important games. We can use Dorgu in the cup games. I want to see Amas play the league games. We're not going to win the league anyway, so I don't mind seeing him play a little bit more. But the last game he played, I think I was impressed with him. He seemed strong. During the Ten Hag era, when we were hearing about Amas a lot, I assumed I was thinking he was not as physical as he would because I was looking at his height and whatnot. But like I think he just needs more playing time, and I think the league would be a better place to like let him just try and have more minutes there and have Dogu come in maybe after 60 minutes so that he could be much sharp for the cup game.
Okay, got a quote here from Ruben Amorim. He said, "We put Maguire up front because he's the only one capable of scoring with his head." He's being brutally honest, isn't he? That's a bit of a diss at his strike.
This, isn't it?
Yeah. But I would like to say well done to Zertz. He did score with his head. He hardly ever scores with his head. He scored with his head the other week as well. It's been great times for Man United. It's a great night as well. Big up to everyone in the comments, and big up to Kany for joining our system. Memorable. We will never forget this. Where do we go from here? We've got Atletico Bilbao in the next round in the semi-final. But you just mentioned something, bathtime and Kany. Would you forgive the manager if we lose our next 2 games 4-1 like we did against Newcastle and don't really take the Premier League too seriously? Would that affect the manager, or do you think he should really focus on trying to do well in the Premier League and then get players like Zertzi injured and lose more players? Because we're really struggling, with injuries and that kind of thing. Would a fan base forgive him for not winning the Premier League game?
You have to take every game seriously. Stuart Marshall hired Ford Focus, took a day off work, drove 10 hours to go and watch the team tonight. Like, people are doing that all up and down the country to see Manchester United. Roy Keane said it the other week. Every game is a big game. You can't pick and choose. If we don't win them, no problem. To be honest, no problems if we don't win them. But what the problem is, if there's not effort, concentration, preparation, all these things got to be taken seriously. So if, like, you give Amas a couple of games and he makes a couple of mistakes and so on, no problem, because every game has got to be for the fans and the team and all these things. But what we cannot do is just fuck off the Premier League and put all our eggs into a Bilbao basket, because that's not who we are, and it's never been who we are. You've seen who we are tonight.
Well, you understand that. Wouldn't you have some understanding if we did F off the Premier League, Kany?
Yeah, but I can understand why someone might kill someone. It doesn't mean I agree or I support it.
For me, I totally give it. For me, I would, like I said earlier on, we are where we are in the league. The only job is to try and survive relegation. So I don't understand why we should, risk our more important players for us to not have them play the more important game like Bilbao and then lose that, because we're trying to get money to get better players. If we get into Champions League and win the league, that works for us. I'm looking at the bigger picture, because if we concentrate on if we think like we're gonna go full force in the league and lose players like we did Zexi and whatnot, we're putting ourselves at our own disadvantage. If we're gonna develop this, first of all, we need to understand the position we are as Manchester United. We're not a team that's gonna spend any money. Our owners have already told us don't have money. Our only chance to get any sort of money to develop this squad is by winning the Europa League and getting into the Champions League, and even be able to actually attract players. So for me, that's the goal we need for now.
All right. Just quickly, let's wrap this up. Where does this rank tonight in comparison to Steve Bruce's headed goal for the 2-2 against Sheffield Wednesday? Kept us maintaining our first title in 24 years or so. 1999 European Champions League final against Bayern Munich. We got Oldham FA Cup final, Mark Hughes scoring that late winner to get us through to the final. And then we got the 1968 final, where we went to extra time at Wembley against Benfica. I mean, where does this rank, this moment? Or pick another, is there another moment that tops this? Where would this be in your top 3, top 5 moments as a Man United fan?
Probably not, to be honest.
Probably not as well.
But
I agree with that.
I would say that it is very, very similar to Spurs away.
3-0 down or something.
3-0 down, came back, won the game 5-3. I think Veron might have scored in that one. I think it's a little bit above. Was it Villarreal where Jesse Lingard scored in the last minute, or maybe Ronaldo scored? It was Ronaldo scored in the last minute.
It was Ronaldo's, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit above that. It's a legendary night, and it's going to be spoken of like as such. But we have mythic nights at Manchester United, like the Nou Camp, for example. And I think that like Bruce's header is something that is folklore, as it were. Like it's part of our sort of like our DNA. If we win the Europa League and we get into Champions League and we get some players back, this will be seen as the springboard for a new era, and so it could become a mythic night. But as I said, like about when McTominay scored his double against Brentford, these moments don't count unless they lead to something.
Right.
So I would say that Ahmad against Liverpool is a bigger moment than this because it led to us winning the FA Cup. Like, do you remember that was incredible last year? The last minute to win, we came from, what were we, 3-1 down or something? We came back to win 4-3.
Absolutely.
I
totally agree with bathtime because it's too early to call it because it depends on the end of the journey.
Yeah, the outcome.
The outcome, yes. It's so for now. Let's treasure it and leave the moment and let's let it mature like fine wine and see how it goes. Tests.
Yeah, it's a bit like sort of being stuck in a desert for a year, and someone comes up and offers you 4 glasses of water and says, "Which is your favorite one?" At the moment, I'm just happy to be drinking.
Just happy to be drinking, yes.
Yeah. And someone who's been happy drinking, it was Mr. B, who ran out onto the street, apparently, according to him, for the Maguire goal, screaming Maguire's name. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
But yeah, we're through to the next round. It's been an epic night of football. Guys, it's midnight here in the UK.
Where do you rate it, though, Yabba?
I think at the moment, I'm feeling like it's one of the greatest nights being a Man United fan.
Yeah.
I remember Norman Whiteside scored against Everton in the FA Cup final. Nothing tops that for me. That was a magic moment. But this is like memorable. Even though we can't remember too much detail, we will be replayed on YouTube and in our minds, and we'll be talking about it for the rest of the week. So well done to all the players that took part today. That was something special to come back like that, to have that spirit of Man United still running through Old Trafford. That's what makes the stadium special. And we're actually moving from the stadium. Will we have moments like that in the new stadium? Who knows? But there's something special about the football club. And that's what was representing tonight when we see we were down, but we came back fighting. And this is, I think it always comes back to Munich, situation like that, when we're down and we rise again and we end up winning the FA Cup and then come back to win the league and the European Cup in '68. That is something what makes the club special. This is something the footballing gods are looking down on us when we're on our face, and most clubs would just be destroyed at that point. We've managed to come back and find a way to get through and win today. So well done to all
just before we go, Yabba, I know we haven't been able to speak to the comments much tonight because we're essentially like in our own selves at the moment, trying to process what we've seen. Can you lot rank where this is, like with all the moments Yabba's given, like Ahmad's goal, the treble, all that kind of stuff? It really helps with people finding the channel as well, to be honest. So if you could like it, and also I'm genuinely interested in where all of you kind of see this. So like let us know where this night ranks, because Yabba's made a really important point, which is that Manchester United is built on European football. Like that's why Munich is kind of so important and stuff like this. And this kind of honors that in some way, like not giving up when it looks like everything's gone. So I think it's a beautiful evening, Yabba, and I'm glad I spent it with you.
Yeah, snap, high five, and big up to Kany as well. Kany, we haven't seen you for a while, so just remind everyone watching where people can find you.
Can I say something before I do that? Actually, I don't know if you mentioned about Bruno earlier on. My girlfriend would be mad about it because I already told her about. She's a staunch United fan, thanks to me. So, so she mentioned. I told her about the song "Bruno, You Look Like a Rat." But after watching, now she just texted me and said, like, you know what? You have to mention Bruno the rat is always taken for granted, but never appreciated when it comes through. And I'll not have food if I don't mention that. So I don't
He
know
was
what.
genuinely world class in the first half, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he did, like we haven't talked about that volley onto the bar. Like we haven't talked about
Oh,
that outside of the foot shot. And remember, he did that to Liverpool as well. It's crazy he's got that in the locker. Tonight, Bruno was head and shoulders above everyone else in quality. They all deserve like a huge mention, but also got a game on Sunday. Lock in, because the season's not over.
Yeah.
If you're watching, lads.
Yeah.
There you
No,
go.
thank you for having me. It's been a while. Thanks, Yabba. Thanks.
Where are you, Kany? Where can people find you?
Overhead Kick TV. Just subscribe. Planning to start dropping a few videos every week for you people to see. But yeah, we'll let you know when I'm invited over on the show again. I'm always happy to come at the agenda. This is my family, and just hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Thank you very much. And on that note, we're going to end the show. Big up to everyone in the chat. It's late. It's Good Friday tomorrow, and obviously Easter over the weekend. Big fixture list over with the Premier League, traditionally with Easter. So make sure you tune in. Lots of football to go. And yeah, I don't think anything this season will top what happened tonight unless we go and win the Europa League. So like Bathtime said, let this be the catalyst to something big and a special season. So from us on the Man United agenda, from Bathtime and from myself and from Kany, it's lack a notch from me.
Lack a notch from me.
Like a notch from me.